Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Blue Archive. Holy shit, it has been a long time since I actually made a video. So, I got back, so here's basically what's happened in the last 2 weeks. So, I got back from my vacation on the 13th. 2 days later, I got sick, so I went through a whole week of that. And then, about 6 or 7 days ago at this point, maybe about a full week, I did something to my back. Either I slept on it wrong. That's like right on the left side of your back, about halfway down under your shoulder blade. Oh, excuse me. I have a little bit of residual cough left over. But, right in that area, my back hurt like a fucking bitch. Like, I couldn't even sit in a chair and not be in pain. And for 3 days straight, it was very hard to get comfortable just staying on my bed because I was always feeling that consistent pain. So, you know, that begs the question, what did I do to it? Wasn't a kidney problem, thankfully. No stones, no infection. It's not a lung issue with me being sick, thank God. And it's just very bad muscular pain. Thankfully, the steroids to help with the inflammation and the medications for the cold started to kick in around day 4, and now the pain, it's still there very slightly, but it's practically all gone now, so I can actually sit and do videos. It's been a rough 2 weeks for me. I think this is definitely the longest it's been since I haven't actually made a video. I tried making videos last week, but obviously I couldn't do it. I think I only put out like 2 videos last week. So we're back. We're back officially. Thank God. Thank God. So we're kicking it off with Blue Archive. We had a new story drop last week. So I've been holding off on it to doing it. Like the whole arc thing right there that you just saw in the upper right corner. That's related to the new story. It's kind of similar with Nasir's operationals. So I'm assuming there's going to be community battles going on in that whole thing, which isn't available until chapter 15, as you can see right here. So yeah, we gotta go through chapter 15 or chapter 3 first before we actually do that. And this is also the first video that I'll actually be using the Pi instance for BlueStacks. So hopefully this fixes all of the lag issues, all of the text lag, all that stuff that I've been struggling with up until this point. So hopefully I can actually show off some battles now. So let us do it. Rolls. The Arc of Atrahasis. This will be multi-part. This is going to be multi-parts, just so you know. We should be close to the destination, Nia said. President Tsukuyu? I've noticed that the number of monsters has been decreasing for a while, right? Come to think of it, it does seem that way. Yes, the frequency of encountering enemies has decreased since we encountered the Great Snowfield. Entered the Great Snowfield. I can't. Oh, President, the sky is strange. Look at that. Wait. It's turning blue. It's turning blue. The sky. It turned back to normal. Yes, my lord succeeded. You think so? Shale Sensei did it. Whoa, enemies showed up as soon as I started celebrating. No, it's just the sound of gunshots. I mean, that could be the same. Oh. I guess it wasn't the enemy. Sorry. Who are you? Ah! You attacked me! You think an apology will be... Huh? Who are you? My question to you. What are Hyakiyako students doing out in these remote fields? We're traveling to the Twilight Temple. We're trying to find the president of the Hyakuyoran. Yes, Shell Sensei. they asked us to. Is that so? Oh, I know where I've seen that before. President? I thought your uniform looked familiar. It must be the Hyakuyoran uniform, am I right? Huh? Hyakuyoran? Then, are you? I don't think so. Although I don't remember fully, Ayame, the Hyakuyoran president, wasn't so cold. She was more like a fancy socialite. Oh, but the vice president was kind of like her. The vice president? Are you the vice president of the Hyakuyoran? No. You're not? That's right. You have the wrong person. No way, don't lie to us. I know that's a Hyakuyoran outfit. Why are you wearing it then? This is cosplay. I see. That's... Izuna, don't fall for it. It's too much of a coincidence. I have to agree with that. Well, coincidences like this aren't impossible. Determined cosplayers will go anywhere, whether it's the great snowfield of Hyakiyako, the grand desert of Abydos, or the ocean of Odyssey, for the sake of getting that picture perfect. Or perfect picture. Whoa, how cool! The spirit of a true cosplayer. That's amazing. I mean, yes, you're right. But if that's true, where are your camera? What's your camera? You don't have any equipment. That's... I don't require such material representations in my cosplay. I'm capturing the precious memories within my heart. Okay. What's the point of coming all the way out here to cosplay and take pictures with an imaginary heart camera? Are you just trying to trick us? Obviously. President? I'm sure her situation can be explained. I didn't mean to offend her, but it just seems strange that she has no camera. I guess I could lend her one if she wants. I just... Are you alright? I think it's fine not to take pictures. You feel good just by wearing a nice cosplay, and that's okay. Leave me alone. Whoa, sorry. Alright. Nagusa. I'm Goryo Nagusa, the vice president of Hyakuyoran. I've come here alone due to a situation. So you are Hyakuyoran. I believe I understand your situation in the Jutsu Research Club, but it's futile. So please return from where you came. What? Why? The Twilight Temple was destroyed long ago. It's likely buried many, many feet under the snow somewhere in these fields. Huh? Is there another way to find the president? No. So again, return. I do not tell anyone if you're meeting with me here. But we can't just go back empty-handed. We came here at Shale's request. Shale. Yes, I've heard of Shale. If that's the case, then... deliver this to your sensei. An old scroll. Do not ask, I do not know its contents. President Ayame wished for Shale Sensei to have it. There's a message for them enclosed. Who told you that? How did they know we'd come here? It is your responsibility now. Then. She's gone. Bye. She's gone. What does it say? Can't we read it? Why not? It's not sealed or anything. Let's see. Uh-oh. Here we go. Shiroko. I'm impressed. You've clawed your way this far, this far, Sensei. But the future is set. You cannot change what is written in fate. Kavados will fall. Shiroko! Wait, you? You are incorrect, Sensei. If you're not, how do you know who I am? You can delude yourself into Yeah, you can delude yourself into believing I've fallen under the control of the chroma, but you would be incorrect. This is me. This is my will. I was granted the role of leading this world into its predetermined future, and the chroma is just one of my many methods available to me. I am not under the control of the chroma. The chroma is under mine. My role is to guide all life to beyond. This world's fate was sealed when Tsunokami Shiroko came to exist within it. The world, the universe revolves upon unbreakable laws. The future is predetermined. You struggle in pain. I must ask of you to leave Kavotos without protest, without struggle. I do not wish to harm you. Not all futures are predetermined. If you leave, the future where I must shoot Shell Sensei will not come to pass. Oh. This was the role granted to me to lead you to this place and guide you to your final moments. You must understand, I will not hesitate to pull the trigger when the time for me to fulfill my role at last arrives. Therefore... Sensei, we have a problem! The energy reactions are happening all over Kavotos again! Ooh. Your Abados. Did I just hear Rin shoot a gun? That's a once in a lifetime. Whoa, who? There's an intruder. Reinforcements. An intruder? Sensei? Shiroko? No, wait, Shiroko! Sensei, don't! You can't follow her. Whoa, 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 are you seriously that reckless? Oh. Oh. Oh boy. What is this place? Oh. Are you the guide of Chroma? Sensei! I just spit you back out. Are you still in one piece? Sensei, what's going on with Shiroko? The connecting passage disappeared. Oh boy. Next objective. Me so far I haven't had any text lag, so it looks like the text lag issue is finally resolved. Are you alright, Maestro? Oh, the guys are still alive. What happened? No need to explain. My body has changed. I'm still adjusting. My apologies. We were in a hurry, so I had to take what we had on hand. Is it uncomfortable? How do you feel? It's inconsequential. Physical bodies are expendable. On a more pressing note, the Chroma attacked. Yes. Paraphanates. Phronopates? What the fuck that the name is called? Just call it Pates. The guide of Chroma attacked earlier than expected. It was aware of our location and weaknesses and shows the optimal time to attack. The guide has been one step ahead of us from the very beginning. We disgraced Gematria's name. We were never its priority to begin with. It only attacked us as a means to an end, to secure a tool to fulfill its purpose. A tool to destroy Kavotos. Yes, by moving the god of the underworld, changed by its terror, it robbed Gematria of all its secrets. The Mimesis, the communal sanctum, the sanctorum, Decragrammaton, the nameless gods, the library of lore, and even the Ark of Atrahasis that we were unable to obtain. Now that the god of Chroma has secured the terror of Anubis, Kavotos is no longer a welcome place for our activities. The Chroma will devour everything and paints it with its colors of madness. That is probably the essence of the Chroma. Even if we pursue our values here, our achievements will only lead to more tools for pates. Then will Kavotos come to an end? Perhaps not. Ghost Sensei remains. They will fight their bitter fight alongside the students until the end. I see. I would expect nothing less. But for how long will they fight? How long will Sensei be able to take a stand against the incomprehensible Chroma? Even now that everything is ruined, there are still fascinating phenomena to be observed. How exhilarating! Gematria will temporarily disband here. We'll assemble again when the time is right. You can do as you please until then, Maestro. I understand. What of Golconde? What happened to him? He'll be fine seeing as what the fuck? God, his name's so hard. As to call, the main body cannot die. But Francis has overtaken their consciousness. Francis has returned. He's even more dangerous than Beatrice in some ways. I'll miss Golconde. Oh boy. Black suit, what will you pursue from here? What's that supposed to mean? I need a report. What's the situation? How do I put this? Masses with ultra high energy have been observed all over Kavotos. Again. How is this possible? Ugh. That means... Saya. Yes. That's all I know for Closure Task Force. So Shiroko lost herself after coming into contact with the Chroma, right? And Shiroko was involved in all the incidents? Shiroko. How could this be? What happened to Shiroko? Why is she trying to destroy the world? What was the expression I saw on her face? Ayane. I don't know. I heard about the Chrome, but I don't know how she could become a completely different person. I don't know why this happened or what it all means. I just know. I couldn't tell what she was thinking at all. Ayane. No matter what's happened to Shiroko, it's not her fault. We have to consider that she was caught in a power that she could not overcome by her own efforts. Right, Ayane. It sounds like the Chroma is the bad one here, not Shiroko. Is there a way for Shiroko to return to how she was? We'll work on it, but as of now, we have no solution. I was the only one who could encounter the Chroma in the past and made it back safely. Sensei sent someone to Tiyaki-Yako district to find a way to fight against the Chroma. Sensei. We're also analyzing data on the Chroma with the Sisterhood. We will do all we can to find a way to bring Tsunokami Shiroko back to her senses. What does it say, President? Can we take a look? Let's see. Ghost Sensei. There is no way to restore an existence that's been reversed by the Chroma to its original state. It's a natural rule of this world, just as how the dead cannot be brought back to life. Ooh. Does that mean the Sanctus will appear again? That would make everything we did until now and mean nothing. The situation isn't exactly the same. Oh right, the locations and the energy are a bit different this time. The Red Winter Frozen Sea, the area beneath the abandoned amusement park, Jihena's Hinam volcano. We have a volcano? Didn't even know that. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Eternity's underground catacombs. Ayumu, how long did it take for the sanctums to appear after the phenomena first occurred last time? Oh, about 24 hours? And that might be the amount of time we have. No, it could be sooner this time. The energy is about 38% higher than on average than last time. Huh? You're right. Rin, did you memorize all those numbers? Jeez. That means we have less than a day. Right now, each district is managing the situation post-assault. The sanctums are gone, but there are still enemies all throughout Kavotos. It'll be impossible to prepare for a new sanctum assault regardless. Everyone pushed themselves to the limit for the first round with no rest. Our only option is to stop the sanctums before they can even appear. But how? Yep, the opponent is invisible. It doesn't even exist right now. All we can detect is the energy, but it shows up out of nowhere. Is there a way to stop this? Is there a solution? Sensei, I'm responsible for the way things turned out. I'm sorry, all of you. What? Sensei, what do you mean? I had a vague idea that something was coming. I knew that Shiroko was in danger. Prophecy of Kavotos' destruction. I even received a direct warning about the enemy we had to face. I had all the pieces right in front of me. I was too complacent. I thought I could handle anything that happened. You're wrong, Sensei. You did your utmost with what you had, as you always do. Rin? You knew the prophecy had no basis, but you came to me with your concerns regardless. You took every precaution you needed to. It was thanks to your warning we were able to successfully carry out the assault on the false sanctums. The rest, I shoulder the blame for the rest. If I were more capable, if I were the General Student Council President instead of just me, Rin, that's no excuse. I should have protected Shiroko. That was his responsibility as an adult. There, that's to take a deep breath, Sensei. Huh? Hoshino? This is much more simple than anyone's making it out to be. Shiroko's acting weird, then we'll drag her here and teach her a lesson, and we'll take care of the rest later. Hoshino, what are you? I also had a bad feeling that Shiroko might somehow find herself on a dangerous path. I always have. Maybe I always have. So if everything happening is somehow centered around our missing Shiroko, well, it'd be silly of me to say that I'm not worried. We don't have a lot of options. But this is a completely different story. The Chroma's to blame, not Shiroko or Sensei. It's no one's fault. It's not Shiroko we need to fight. Besides, if we don't solve the situation right now, there might be more victims like Shiroko and Kavotos. So it's easy. We, along with Sensei, had to prevent more victims like Shiroko. That's what matters most. If Shiroko tries to stop us, we'll just catch her. Sensei and the others will figure out how to bring her back to herself. Hoshino. It's not like Shiroko is a wild animal to be captured. Well, I guess there are some similarities. That's right, I'm an expert at capturing wild Shirokos. This isn't my first time. Right, Nonomi? Yeah, actually, you've done it once, but you're the only one who's done it in Kavotos. So, Sensei, you can just say everything's gonna work out fine, like you always do. You're right. Thanks, Hoshino. Let's go get Shiroko back, no matter what it takes. That sounds more like you, Sensei. Right, Shiroko was always kind of weird, but so it's not that big of a deal if she became a little weirder. Captain Shiroko sounds like fun. Yeah, right, this wild version of Shiroko is ferocious, so we'll just have to leash her up and drag her around with us. Okay, I got it. I'll find a way to address our problem and find Shiroko. I'll be counting on you guys. Oh boy. What if... Momoko, the energy we detect all over Kavotos. Can you detect its flow? Its flow? When we attacked the last sanctum, we saw the energies of all the sanctums converging together. Oh, that's right. Assuming the energy is something fluid that can be transferred from one place to another. I get what you're saying. I'll try. I think what she said is right. Each coordinate has a common energy flow. Momoka, what if we trace back the flow? I know. Give me a second. think I found it. Momoka! Ooh. All the energies leading to one place. It's the energy's origin. In other words, that place is the epicenter generating the false sanctums. Where is it? It's above the sky. The altitude is 75,000 meters above Kavotos. Huh? It's not higher than the stratosphere. Above the skies. That's right. I'm detecting more energy there. That means that place is behind all these incidents. Who would have thought it would be hiding above the sky? Then whoever is leading Kavotos' destruction must be up there. It's the black sphere. That thing. Pates, the guide of Chroma. Oh boy. Methods and tools. An altitude of 75,000 meters. That's gonna be rough. How is it floating at such a high altitude? Anyway, with our current technology, there's no way to attack anything at that altitude. Well, shit. Do you have any ideas, President? I don't know. That hides beyond my expertise. We're hackers, not engineers, after all. I mean, that's certainly true. Not only that, even if we wanted to check its structure, it's surrounded by a spherical barrier, so we can't see inside. So let's try using Big Sister's legacy here. The President's legacy? Yes, among the countermeasures she prepared to stop the destruction of the world, she has something for threats above the sky as well. Can you hack the weapon we found in Aoharu so we can utilize it? I'll begin preparations on my end. That missile? I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, maybe it'll do the trick. I'll talk to the other members. And we need help from the engineering department too. Okay, we'll be ready. Yes, we'll give it our all. Go! Distance 2,000 meters. Distance 1,000 meters. 500 meters. We reached the target coordinates. Did it connect? No. No. It passed right through it. What? Again? Distance to the target. 1,000 meters, 1,500 meters. It's getting farther away. That was our final strategy. Feels like we're shooting at shadows. What? So the President's countermeasures didn't work? No, it looks like we're unable to physically harm the structure. A cruise missile on that scale would exceed what millenniums of technology is capable of. If that doesn't work then. Where'd the President get something like that? It's meaningless to proceed any further. If it can't be physically affected, it's already beyond a natural phenomenon, so there's nothing the engineering department can do about it. Same here. That was the last ace up our sleeve we came across in Aoharu. Tamari, is there any solution? As of now, I can't think of anything. How typical of Big Sister. Not only was she unhelpful to the world, but the legacy she left behind is also useless. It's kind of insulting to talk about someone living as if they're dead. She deserves worse! Well, the President did a lot of things wrong, but that's a bit extreme. Okay, so the next option is... do we have any solutions? Anything? It's impossible. Everything is blocked. I checked the data on the sanctum materials that were analyzed by Millennium. I think I know the structure's phenomenon. What is it? If we can understand it, we might be able to deal with it, at least. With the help of the scholars of the Sisterhood, the librarians of the old library, and the Tea Party, I've collected information from every archive in Kavotos. However, this is only the hypothesis, and it hasn't been verified. Anything helps. We don't have any means of verifying any hypotheses right now. Hypothesis, but anyway. Basically, the sanctums reappearing in Kavotos and the structures above the Kavotos are maintaining a kind of quantum superposition state. It's the ability for a system to be in multiple states at once, essentially. Indeed, that would make sense. What? Does this have anything to do with the quantum mechanics? Yes and no. I'm using the most similar theory to help understand the phenomenon. So just keep that premise in mind. It's a multi-world interpretation. No, multi-dimensional analysis would be more accurate, an existence based on that theory. Multi-dimensional analysis. So because the multi-world interpretation is a hypothesis that the universe diverges for every possible probability distribution or pattern in the entire universe. But if it's a multi-dimensional analysis, if a coin is tossed with the possibility of getting heads or tails, only one of those results will appear in this world, right? But this theory suggests that other universe possibilities, usually unable to manifest here, exist simultaneously with our universe. What? Yeah, I feel you. Like a parallel universe, like science fiction that says the world diverges every time a coin is tossed. The theory itself is based in science. However, within that space, all the probabilities are mixed in an overlapping manner without diverging. In other words, it's a chaotic space in which existence and non-existence within infinite multidimensionality are mixed with every probability. Oh, these are some big words. That's why we can't physically intervene. It's almost its own world where it maintains both existence and non-existence. You can see it, but you can't touch it. We don't have a solution with the technology we have. Well, shit. But I think that only the outside surroundings of the structure could maintain such a state. If the interior was also unstable, it'd be impossible to transfer energy to each sanctum like it's doing now. She's got a point. So it's essentially a barrier, so to speak. By deploying an invincible multidimensionality, known as the quantum superposition state, like a barrier, it's protected from all physical laws. It's a bold theory, but I get it. Using overlapping multidimensionality for defense, it makes sense if that were the case. If we can get rid of the barrier, it'd be impossible to attack the main body inside. But how would we eliminate a barrier like that? There is one solution. If we can implement the same quantum superposition state as that barrier, we can enter it without being affected by the barrier. The same state? Oh, I see. If the quantum superposition state occurring in that multidimensional space is viewed as a kind of vibrational value, I don't understand what they're talking about, I'm just going with it. An object with the same vibrational value would be able to pass through, right? Yes, because regardless of the probability or superposition state inside that multidimensional space, they'll be in the same space. Kind of like noise canceling. It's a little different, but the concepts are similar. I don't understand this at all, I'm too dumb. If we can analyze the multidimensionality and implement the same state, we can neutralize the barrier. But how? For that to be possible, we need to be able to calculate multidimensional analysis. Is that even possible? That's impossible. To calculate multidimensional analysis, we need a quantum computer, which only exists in theory. Then there's nothing we can do. The false sanctums are about to manifest again, and we can't do anything but watch it happen? Even if we manage to eliminate the sanctums that appear again, if we leave that structure in the sky as it is, they'll just calculate the probability of its existence of sanctums in multiple dimensions and manifest them here over and over again. Seriously? Then even if we destroy the sanctums can be recreated as many times as the infinite number of dimensions that exist in the universe. Is that right? What? That doesn't make sense! What happened to the first law of thermodynamics? The moment multidimensionality comes into this, everything we know of the world becomes meaningless. That's certainly true. What then? What do we do? Are you saying even if we know what needs to be done, we're utterly helpless? Hmm? Is Sensei here? When did they slip out? Huh? Where did Sensei go? There's a way. Black suit. There is one method. Just one way to reach Pates. Tell me how to do it. In exchange for telling you, what will you give me? Well, bowing your head here and asking me means you're willing to do just about anything to achieve your goal, no matter the sacrifice. You're even here willing to cooperate with Gematria. Then what shall I demand of you? Right, how about joining Gematria? Just kidding. Gematria has disbanded, so you're lucky this time. I'll give you a boon just this once. But I must warn you. Go Sensei, once you do this, your body will receive irreversible damage. You won't be able to revert to your prior state, and you may even die. You're still willing to move forward? None of that matters. Even knowing this could end in your death. Resolve is set. I understand. Sensei, what you're looking for is an Abydos. There's a thing beneath the desert. Yes. Oh boy. The fortress above the sky you seek to board is a kind of ark of Atrahasis. Ark of Atrahasis? I'm familiar with the name. Yeah, some time ago an ark bearing that name appeared for a brief moment in the millennium and then disappeared. It's a legacy left behind by the nameless gods, the old masters of Kobodos buried deep beneath its earth's strata. It's an ancient civilization, so to speak. The Aoharu you found, and some prophets prior to being hacked by Decagrammaton are such legacies. We didn't think they would pose a particular threat since they were already cold, but I would never have thought that Chrome would arriving from outside of Kobodos would seek to secure them. It seems as long as it's a mystery that's manifested even once in Kobodos, the guide of Chroma can make it its own. The Ark of Atrahasis has been secured that way too, like the Chroma Decagrammaton that appeared through the Sanctum, the Mimesis, and the Artificial Angels. If that Ark is the legacy of the nameless gods, and there's no technology that can deal with it in Kobodos. Unless you fight fire with fire. You need to acquire the technology of the nameless gods yourself. That means... Is that what's in Abydos? Correct. An ancient weapon capable of dealing with the Ark of Atrahasis awaits there. That was exactly what I was looking for in the Abydos Desert via the Kaiser Corporation. An ancient weapon buried in the stratum of Kobodos. A pre-enlightenment terror that cannot be understood with existing technology. But I wasn't interested in that at the time. My goal at the time was to possess the most powerful mystery of Kobodos through a contract. Back then, the treasure buried in Abydos was a fanciful whim. It would have been convenient to have found it using Kaiser, but it didn't matter if I didn't. That's how I felt about it. But to Kaiser's president, my explanation must have sounded enticing. An ancient weapon more powerful than anything in Kobodos? What if something like that came into your possession? The president thought it would be possible to rule all of Kobodos. And finally, the excavation of the super ancient weapon buried in the Abydos Desert was successful. The president had no reason to hesitate anymore. With that weapon, the president may have felt Kaiser could overtake any and every district in Kobodos. So the General Student Council was attacked and Shell Sensei was kidnapped. Things had gone according to plan. Kobodos could have fallen into the hands of the president. But that's when the false sanctums appeared. When Sanctum Tower was destroyed, the cautious president realized he was in over his head and retreated. You could say he's a savvy businessman. He knew he needed Sanctum Tower to use the ancient weapon. Since Sanctum Tower has been destroyed, there's no way and no person who can handle the ancient weapon. Except for just one person. The owner of the Sheetum chest, an artifact on par with Sanctum Tower. What's the ancient weapon? At first, I thought what was buried in Abydos could be an ark. It wasn't an ark, but something similar, something just as great. It was a ship. The final form of the weapon, which is comparable to the Ark of Atrahasis, is known by a name born from the origins of Kavodos. What the fuck kind of name is that? I don't even know how to pronounce that. I don't even know how to abbreviate that. What the fuck? What kind of name is that? It looks like someone just mashed a bunch of letters together on the keyboard. Napis? I'm just gonna call it Napis. There's no way I'm gonna pronounce that. It's Napis' ship. An intergalactic battleship. Oh. There's a combat sequence, so we might be able to show off some battles. Hello, Rin. We're all here. So, welcome to Abydos. Yes, thank you for having us. When Kaiser Corporation attacked Sanctum Tower, the president said, "We were occupying Sanctum Tower. Why? We recently acquired an ancient weapon and we need the Sanctum Tower's power to..." Well, I won't bore you with the petty details. All I need to know is that Kavodos is now under the control of Kaiser Corporation. The Academy City belongs to us now. Not Gematria, not the Student Council, us. At the time, there wasn't too much going on for me to really consider the implications of his words, but I did find the remark strange. Ancient weapon? It wasn't something I would expect coming from the mouth of a corporate president. Under normal circumstances, I likely wouldn't have noticed the connection between the Kaiser Corporation and this ancient weapon. Yes, it's certainly unexpected. Huh, is that so? Hoshido? So Kaiser was looking for this ancient weapon in the desert. That was the reason Kaiser took land in the Abydos district. I always wonder why they wanted it so badly. It's kind of anticlimactic now that I know the answer. Some long-lost ancient weapon? The heck is that? Sounds so dumb. I didn't think it would literally be a treasure hunt. I mean, in a way that makes sense for them. If it's a powerful weapon that money can't even buy, they'll do anything to get their hands on it. Yes, at the time, the Kaiser Corporation attacked the General Student Council just because they obtained the ancient weapon. They didn't believe that there would be consequences. They were confident in their ability to fight all of Kavodos. That's probably why Kaiser PMC activity going in and out of the desert has spiked recently. So, Ayane, we're supposed to go to the PMC excavation site to obtain this ancient weapon, right? Yes, but the desert is technically still Kaiser's property. I see. I guess we'll have to go in Shiroko style. What? Oh boy. Huh? Wait, that's not what I meant. We just have to make sure we don't get caught. We'll move fast. Yeah, we need that weapon thingy so we can capture Shiroko. Kaiser PMC left the base, so it'll be empty. Oh, really? Yes, but it's still Kaiser's property, so I was trying to say we need to be cautious because we don't know when they'll return. How disappointing. I thought I was going to let off some steam. No mask for this mission, I suppose, but you're so cute putting yours on with us when you knew we didn't need to, Ayane. Well, so we just have to bring it here. That sounds a little too simple. No, foreclosure task force. It's impossible to carry it out of the desert. Himari? What we need is for you to secure the location. We can't move it. How big is this thing? Bigger than you can even imagine. According to Sensei's info, the ancient weapon is an intergalactic battleship. What? Huh. I'm curious to see how they're hiding it. What is this? The sky turned back to normal, so we came to check the base. And there are intruders! Now that the sanctions are gone, Kaiser must be slowly coming back. But this was originally our land! Yeah, you guys are just squatters. But, on paper, it's still theirs. Maybe it's fine, actually. Now that Kavonis is in chaos, I'm sure Sensei can swoop in later and say some adult mumbo-jumbo to fix whatever we break. Metaphorically speaking. Wow, the power of an adult! You say so. Oh boy. What? They're still here! Okay, let's get rid of them for good before we go. Yes, let's move forward to the coordinates. Give us your command, Sensei. Alright, let's claim an intergalactic battleship. Alright. My first battle sequence with no lag.
Ah, 準備できた。行くよ。盾だよ。集まって。さあ、行ってみよう。あら、私の番ですね。さあ、お願いします。状況を把握しました。行きます。簡単なことです。最高。許せない。私が耐えてる間に攻撃して。お願いします。覚悟してくださいね。
Walk away for a second, but and no lag. Alright, so I can now do battle sequences. Fucking finally. It took like what, 58 parts? 58 videos of Blue Archive to be able to do them. According to the coordinates, it should be this way. Over here, there's an entrance connected to the basement. I see. It looks quite deep. Let's go. I'm impressed that they were able to hide a battleship. Where? A mechanical hallway? Let's keep going. The inside is a little more neat. This way, this stairway. Whoa. This. Oh, there it is. The big ship itself. I see. It was an exaggeration. It appears to be really be in our intergalactic battleship. All aboard! Yes! My ship now. All right. Nice. Okay. So we had one successful combat sequence, no lag, no text lag. So yeah, looks like the Pi instance of BlueStacks resolved all my issues that I was having. Nice. But we're at that point. We're gonna call it here. I'm not quite sure whether it's gonna be post editing because there's several cuts that need to be removed. So when we come back, we'll continue on with the chapters, see what happens. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.